Hey boys and girls, thanks for joining us for day 4 of our Sermon on the Mount devotional series. I hope that you've enjoyed following along and taking some notes as we talk about some of the different teachings in Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. Hey, I got a question for you to start off. Have you ever had someone in your life that has something that you want? Maybe they have a specific toy that you want and you're jealous that you can't have it. Or maybe they're better than you at a sport or a video game or something and you get really upset. Well, Jesus kind of talks about this in one of his lessons on the Sermon on the Mount. It's found in Matthew 6:19 through 24, and it's called Treasures in Heaven. Jesus talks about how we should be careful where we store up our treasures, the things that we value. What do you find valuable in your life? Maybe it does make you mad when your friend wins every time at the video game. Well, should we take our whole lives and spend all of our time focusing on how we can beat them? What if I spent every waking minute playing a video game trying to be as good as I possibly could? See, boys and girls, what happens is when we do that, we begin to make those things so valuable in our lives that we put them before God. And we need to find new places that we can store up our treasures. And the Bible talks about how we should store up our treasures in heaven. Our treasure should be found in spending time with Jesus and understanding that He has everything under control. That when life gets tough, we know that we can trust Him. Jesus says in His teaching, He says, where your treasure is, there your heart also will be. Where do you want your heart at? Do you want your heart focused on God in heaven? Or do you want your heart focused on things on earth like sports or video games or all those things? Now, sports and video games aren't bad. Toys aren't bad. But when we make that the most valuable thing in our lives, we put those things before God. And we make treasures on earth more important than treasures in heaven. And that's exactly what Jesus is warning against. Take some time to write down some notes on this passage of Scripture and ask God, what have you been putting too much value in here on earth? And what things might you need to remove so that you can put Him first?